Welcome back to Lick the Spoon with Beth and Jayme. Sorry, I did that kind of creepily, but I liked it.
It's making me laugh because I can also see your face, and it was creepy.
Yeah, I apologize. Sometimes
hey, welcome to Lick the Spoon. It is what it is.
It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. My grandpa used to always say that. He still does, but yeah.
Your grandpa who's like over 100 years old?
No, it's my grandpa that's 90. He's turning 90, so still old as rocks. Yeah, can't imagine.
Wow.
I mean, I kind of hope I end up being that old, but then at the same time, I'm like, what's the world going to look like in, 2060?
I cannot even imagine.
70. Like, that seems like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of a lot, my week was a lot. I have many stories I need to share with you. Some more horrible than others.
Okay.
So, firstly, I've been trying to find a house. And
yes. So what's going on with that?
Nothing, because the housing market is horrible. I have not enough money to buy anything that I'd want to live in. And
that's kind of sad.
It's really sad. It's like, I wish I would have bought 10 years ago like everyone else, but I didn't. So now I'm looking at like borderline shanties in our town for $300,000. And I'm like,
that's craziness.
It's very sad, but it'll all work out. So I have a friend, and she has like grandparents that are going to be selling their house. So I was going to go look at it. I got very excited. And so this was a couple Saturdays ago. I was going to go look at it, and I'm like, all right, this is going to happen. So Friday, cool. Saturday, wake up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take my time. We're meeting at like 10 or 11. I can't remember. I'm just going to ease into the day. And I'm watching my shows, and I'm just enjoying. And all of a sudden I hear my cat just scratching at her litter box. And Miss Priss she gets a lot of attention. We know this. I have a spoiled cat. And I didn't think I'd be that person, but I am that person. Anyway, she likes me to clean out her cat pile as soon as she goes to the bathroom. She's just like, get this out of here. I'm a lady. So I go back there, and I notice I'm walking down the hall, and I see a piece of poop outside of the box. I'm like, that is very odd for a cat, because cats pretty much, they're pretty clean. So I'm like, and I'm thinking, I think she's a little constipated. That one snuck out later, as she was coming out. I'm like, okay. So I clean it up. I'm walking back down the hall, and there's a giant smear of poop down the hall.
What are you doing? Wait, is your hall carpet?
No, it's flooring.
Thankfully. Okay.
No, the story gets worse though. So I'm like, what is this? Oh, I'm like, she must have had it on her paw or something.
And cat poop is the worst.
It's awful. So she's sitting kind of in my office, which is carpeted. So I'm like, ugh. So I grab her and I throw her into the bathroom gently. I just toss the cat in there, and she's like, tries to get out. And I grab her again. I throw her in, and then there's like bath mats in there. So I get the bath mats up, and I lay her down, and she has poop all over the back of her tail.
What, are you kidding me? What in the world? What happened?
I don't know. It's like she smushed it in. It's like a dangleberry got stuck, and she just wiped it on the floor and then it smushed it everywhere. I'm
That's
like, oh
disgusting.
my gosh. So I'm trying to clean the cat, and I'm like using like baby wipes on her and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is horrible. So I leave her in there, and I go back out because I'm like, I gotta go clean that poop off the floor. I'm walking out to go get a rag.
Oh no.
In my bathroom, or in my dining room, there's like a nice rug down there. Poop. Giant poop stains. Too big. I'm like, oh my gosh.
What in the world?
In 5 minutes that I wasn't paying attention to her, she demolished my house. So now there's poop, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do I do?
The worst thing.
So then I'm like looking around, like, is there poop anywhere else? I walk over, and I'm like, thankfully, okay, didn't get on my couch. All right. I looked down at my like expensive rug from West Elm, and I'm looking like, okay, no poop. No poop. There's poop in 2 places on my beautiful rug from West Elm, which cost a fortune.
How? That's very unusual for cats.
I know. And the fact that she got it so many places in such a short amount of time. And I literally had to stop and just pause my life for just a brief moment before I dealt with that. And Jayme, when I tell you I was upset, I was upset.
How did you even get it
I
out?
had nothing on me. I had nothing. So I called my friend who I'm supposed to go see this house. I was super excited.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I can't. I have to deal with poop now. I get dressed because I'm in jammy still. I get dressed. I clean up the poop in the hall. I run to Target.
Yeah.
Flee to Target to try and get a steam cleaner because I'm like, that's the only way that's going to get out. So I'm like at the Target. I pick up a little green clean machine pet remover. I go to the cat section. They have a lot of beauty products for cats. So I got like waterless shampoo, and I got wipes and all kinds of crap. And I like rush home. And as I'm rushing around, I'm like, I left her in the I left her in the bathroom, and I'm having all of these intrusive thoughts of like, you left her in the bathroom with like one piece of food. She's probably going to jump up on something, knock something over. She's going to knock over one of your pieces of art. The glass is going to break. You're going to come home to a dead cat. You better run. So I'm booking it through Target. I'm like, I took 10 minutes in Target to get all this stuff. And then I bought her a cat toy because, why not? So I check out. When I looked at the price for the little green cleaning machine, I thought it was like $99. No, it was like double that.
What?
So it was like $260 of cat stuff.
What?
I was just like, I couldn't believe it, but I didn't have time. In my head, I didn't have time to stop, go back and like, cross shop or
I've
anything.
heard good things about the little green thing.
They are.
Too.
They have a really great track record. So I'm not sad about that. But I get home, I'm like, schlepping all this stuff upstairs. I'm checking on her in the bathroom. I get in there. I give her a whole like beauty routine to like clean all this poop off of her.
Yeah.
I'm like wiping everything down. And then I had to like clean carpets. It took hours. And by the end, I was so exhausted and so sad. And then I
believe it. And that was like your whole day.
That was my whole day. And I was like, all I wanted to do was go look at a house and pretend that I'm moving forward in my adult life. That's all I wanted to do. And instead I cleaned up cat poop. And then I laid down because I was exhausted. I laid down on the couch and it took forever to clean those rugs. Like it was not a short thing. I laid on the couch,
but
and
it worked.
It worked. Everything's clean. There's no smell. Like everything's perfect.
Okay, good.
I lay down on the couch to take a little rest. And that little hooch has the nerve to come up, lay on my chest and take a nap on me. And I'm just like, we're just going to pretend like none of this happened. Like you didn't just wake up and choose violence on a Saturday morning. And it was our first really nice Saturday too. Cause I was going to go on a walk. I was going to do stuff. And I was just like, this is my life now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's pretty unfortunate.
It was very unfortunate. And it started a week of unfortunate.
Well, I wonder what was going on. Did she eat something different?
I think so. It was probably that. I give her a lot. I'm sticking to the same snacks now, but I had introduced a new snack and I think it just got her.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson, but now I'm paranoid. So every time she poops, she likes to like scratch. And so I'm like, is there poop on the floor? And I'm like, she'll poop in the middle of the night. I'm like, last night she pooped. It was probably 11:30 and it's daylight savings. So my clock is off.
Yeah.
I sit straight up in bed, go over to her cat litter box. I'm looking, okay, there's poop in there. I grab her by the tail. I just check to make sure everything's clean.
Yeah, it sounds like it was traumatizing.
I'm literally PTSD from this stupid cat.
Okay, so what do you mean it set off like a week of?
Oh my gosh. So that was super stressful on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I had applied for a job at work.
Right.
Yes, to like move up to like the next level of what I do. And I was kind of I was excited about it, and I was just kind of like I was kind of on the fence just because there's been a lot of going on at my current job, and like you have people that trust you and you trust them and you work well together, and there's a lot going on and they depend on you and vice versa to just try and get through this capitalist nightmare that we live in. And so I applied for this job, and I think, I'm getting like really good feedback from people, and I had an interview and everything, and it all was seeming okay. And then the other shoe dropped. Like I got a call from the manager, and they were just checking to see if I really like was into the job, which was nice to see it was a good fit. And then I had to talk to another person, and then I just felt like the whole week was so stressful around this job, right? It's like this whole process. So Friday I have another meeting with the manager, and they're like, you didn't get it.
What?
Yeah. So the first response though, so I literally the night before was praying that I wouldn't get it, because I was just like, I just don't want to deal. I don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
And so it went from poop on Saturday to just like a week full of job interviews and such to.
How did you not get the job though? I
asked. There was just someone more qualified that they thought was a better fit I think that person probably would stay there more long term, and you have different aspirations.
Plus they probably really they want you to do what you're currently doing.
No, I don't know. I don't think I fought for it that hard, but at the same time, I was relieved. So I was like, that's interesting. Because sometimes when you're making a big choice, you don't necessarily know what you want. And then the choice is made for you and you're like relieved. It's like, okay, I guess this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
But then so this has been like a week of this. Over the weekend, it starts setting in because that was Friday. So Saturday, I'm like, I'm not sad about not getting the job. I feel sad about not being wanted.
Right.
And they were very nice.
Able to be, you still want to get the job, and then you want to be like actually, no, I don't want it.
Yeah. And it wasn't even, I don't know, it wasn't even that big a deal, but it was just like, it was definitely one of those situations where it was better to not receive it than to get it, I think, long term.
Yeah.
But it was still like not, it just feels like, it made it feel like nothing is going my way, even though that's not the way I wanted to go.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. So just kind of was just like, I got cat poop. I don't have a house. I don't have a new job. Everybody hates me. I'm just going to stay on my couch all the time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not,
but I wasn't
kind
depressed.
of a spiral.
Yeah.
That's kind of, did you just hear yourself?
I just want to say though, I wasn't feeling depressed.
That's good.
Yeah. I just was feeling like, what is this life? Yeah.
So what do you do in that situation? Get on TikTok?
I definitely numbed the pain with TikTok and with shows.
Okay.
And I did order a pizza. I ate my feelings a little bit because they have
But then you
bread
watched
nuts.
Turning Red, and that was good.
That was good, yeah. I watched a lot of movies and stuff. I think the big thing was just, I've been trying to get out of my own head. You know what I mean? I feel like caught in the loop.
Right. And I feel, and hearing you say that your thoughts of going, like, nothing's going my way and all of that, to me, it sounds like you need to, like, break out of that, like, get out of your house, go outside, like, do something to get out of that space, because
because I'm in it.
And that's kind of a spiral. Like, you're saying you're not depressed, but that could lead to feeling depressed, because those are all very negative thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely realized, like, I'm trying to reclaim my life. Like, COVID did that to me because I just stopped everything I was doing. And then during COVID, I quit 2 jobs. I quit my youth ministry thing that brought a lot. So that, like, put a halt to a lot of, like, my community and just stuff I was doing. And I was trying to remember, how did I do my life before COVID? Because I was out and about all the time.
Yeah, you were.
And now I go to the grocery store. I'm like, I'm done for 2 days. I cannot do anything else.
I think that you're not alone in that adjustment. I think a lot of people are currently and will be going through a similar kind of path of, like, quote unquote re-entry into, but because it's not 2 years have gone by. Yeah. So much has happened, and it's never going to be like it was. And
literally there's, like, different friendships now, different like, relationships.
So different. So I don't know, dude.
Yeah, no, that's my thing. I'm trying to figure out, how can I baby step my way out of this? Because it's like, I don't recognize who I'm becoming. And it's like, it's not somebody I want to be. It's like a couch potato, TikTok watching weirdo that just sits around eating pizza, watching children's shows, going like, this is the best day of my life, you know, like, because then I see other people out living their lives on Instagram, like they're snowboarding, or they're camping, or they're just having a party, and I'm like, that must be nice,
right? But also, that's a highlight reel. It's a highlight reel, and it's also, comparison is not going to be helpful. But I think thinking about some of those, or one of those things that you actually want to do and plan for it, and you know.
But then I plan for it, and I feel like it all just...
Then your cat poops on your floor and smears it all over your house.
It's just game over. Well, and I've been having to reassess, like, the goals I set, kind of. And it's like the book reading thing, you know, having to reset that goal.
Well, you set a very lofty goal, I must say. When you told me the number, I was like, are you sure?
She's ambitious, this one. I was doing so good for like a week. And then I was just like, I'm 7 books behind where I need to be. There's no way. And
yeah, but nobody's putting that on you. So you get to be the boss of your own life in terms of how many books you want to read. So you can just change that number anytime.
Don't you ever feel like when you're the boss of your life, you're also like the staff member of your life, and the boss is like bullying you to like do better?
No. Well, yes and no. But like, you got to be realistic. And so
overrated. Like, I'm
this
trying
is a personality thing.
I'm trying to get inflated ego.
Thing. Yeah. Because I think, wait, I'm totally distracted by your bed. What just happened to your bed?
Okay, so we're in my bedroom, guys, and
okay.
My bed is okay.
The
my
light
bed is tweed.
The light was hitting it, and I thought it was a board
Yeah.
But no, you've got plastic on it to protect it.
I just want to say this. I have a bed that's made, the fabric is tweed. It's really cute. It's
really
gray.
is cute.
And I got it prior to having a cat, and my cat liked to claw on it. And so I put clear contact paper with tape over the whole thing so she couldn't claw it.
That's smart.
So that if people walk by and see it, they don't realize it's covered in plastic. But if you get close to it, you're like, oh,
well, right now
what is
where
your
I'm
kink?
sitting, it's the angle of the light. And I'm like, why does it look like...
I know.
It's like, it looks from here, it looks like a board, and then it looks like tweed on the ends. But I was like, I know your bed isn't like that. So what's happening? Anyways,
side
note.
It's a lot of special in here.
That was a side note.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the number of books. I mean, it's okay to readjust those goals and to
I'm trying to do that, but it's just like sometimes when I readjust, it feels like a failure.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, are you just going to keep readjusting until it's nothing?
Okay. Well, no, because are you still reading?
No.
Oh, maybe so.
I am. I have books by my bed. Yeah.
Wait a second. How many?
I've read 2 books.
That's what I was going to. You know what?
2.5.
And it's only March?
Yeah.
That's like
double.
Yes. Compared to the entire year last year.
So that's impressive.
You're doing great. Like, don't even worry about it. And
it's fine. But that's like the bottom tier of my drama, which isn't drama. I don't know. I think I was having this weird epiphany, and this is going to go probably deeper than we need to go. But you know, like when you're younger, the world is your oyster, that whole mentality. And it was just like, it hit me the other day, but that there's all these possibilities that are no longer an option. And it's just like, oh, I never get to be a child gymnast. Like that is not an option for me anymore. I know I could be an adult gymnast, but like, you know, some of those things that you're just like, oh, I always wanted to do this thing.
Oh, you're talking about like a midlife crisis kind of.
I think it's more than a crisis. What's deeper than a crisis? It's really not even, it's just, it feels like an epiphany of like trying to really see where life is and what the world really is. And then how am I going to navigate that? Because some of the things that I thought were true are not. And there's obstacles that are beyond my capability to move and to surpass. So how do I still have the life I want when, you know, it's not necessarily an A to B path. And so I don't know. I just think it's, you know, I'm in my, you know, as we get in our 40s and stuff, it's like you start saying, how many years do I have left that are years that are easy? You know, I look at my mom, and it's like, it doesn't look like it gets easier in your late 60s as far as physically. You know, and just, I don't know. I think it's just interesting. Like, just life is just weird and hard and challenging and beautiful all at the same time. And sometimes it's just like, I don't want to clean up poop. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Who does? But that's also part of life. So
I know. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want that anymore. I don't want poop to be a part of my life. And that's my problem. My brain can't figure it out. How to like not live in mundane. Like, how do you not have a mundane life? How do you not have a boring life when a lot of life is boring? When a lot of life is repetitious? When it's like you do not have, you know, the funds to have someone, a live-in, you know, butler to like navigate all of this for you.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, it's not that I feel sadness. It's not that I feel depressed. It's not that it's just like, it's almost like it's that freedom of like, I have a clean slate.
It's
what's next.
Yeah. And reevaluating
exactly
what's important and what.
Yeah. And shifting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then trying to figure out things. Yeah. And then trying to figure out what step to take next in what direction. And I think part of it too is like coming to the realization, like a lot of my identity was caught up in being a youth minister and being part of the church and being that kind of person. And when that goes away, like, who are you now? Like, okay, you don't work 4 jobs anymore. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Like, who are you? And it's like, oh, I guess I have to like think about it.
Well, because you can easily kind of waste time just consuming media and to a point that's enjoyable and relaxing. Yeah. But you're also going, okay, I need to like maybe set some limits on that or figure out what else I want to do.
Yeah. Well, and I also think you can waste time in your role. You can waste time in your title.
True.
You know, and it becomes such a part of your identity that it's like, it's hard to like veer because it's, oh, this is who I am. And it's like, well, if that's taken away from you, who are you? Like if you strip away all your titles, who are you as a person? And I think that those are important conversations to have with yourself, because on the regular, like a little check-in every once in a while, maybe every 5 years. Am I still a person that likes cottage cheese? No. No. You know what I mean? Like,
is that you? Is that
for real?
Is that a question that you've that is for real?
I do. I ask myself, do I still like eating this type of food? Because sometimes I'll be eating something, I'm like, I don't really like this. I didn't really enjoy that. But it's something I've always eaten. And it's like, oh, my tastes have changed.
Yeah. So is cottage cheese one of those things?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Okay. Yeah. It was a very sad day. It literally was like one day I liked it and the next day I'm like, absolutely not. This is the worst thing of my life.
That's so funny.
But it's like that with like, sometimes it's like that with, relationships. Sometimes it's like that with like jobs. I've had that before where it's just all of a sudden I'm like, I cannot do this another day. I'm not there yet. So if any of my employers are listening, I'm very happy. I'm very happy where I'm at. But you know what I mean? It's just sometimes you just got to ask those questions to kind of
I think those are great questions to ask. I also think that I'm still going to watch Love is Blind. I'm still going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying give up all the trash.
Right.
Yeah. But it's
maybe. No, balance. What is it? What's the word? Moderation.
I think it's intentionality.
Oh, intentionality.
I think it's just being intentional with your choices, intentional with that's my big thing. I want to be intentional with my life so I can look back and say, wow, my grandpa, who's 100 and he's going to be 104 this month.
Oh my gosh. And I still can't get over how old
so
he is.
old. I feel so bad for him because he's getting to be where it's hard to get around, but he still talks and sees and hears and all that stuff. But like I once sat down with him and asked him like, Grandpa, like tell me all the jobs you've had in your life. And it's just like, he was a pin setter. Like back in the day when they had bowling. They had bowling alleys. They didn't have an automatic pin setter. So he would sit back there and they would reset the pins up. That was his job, one of his first jobs. He was a hobo. So a hobo is a person that like travels by train to go to different jobs. Right. He did that. He worked on a lot of farms and ranches.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, wait, a hobo's not a job.
But it was like part of his job was
going from job to job.
And so he was a hobo. Another job is he worked for a famous like mobster in Chicago named Studi Baker, I think.
What?
Yeah. And they like one of his friends was taking care of Al Capone's mansion at the time because they were on it was like a river or a lake or something that all the mobsters had houses on. And so they took Al Capone's boat out. And I think it was by this time Al Capone was in jail or something. But I'm like, Grandpa, you worked for the mafia? And he wasn't doing anything bad. He was just like not a servant, but like a guy that helped around the place. He also worked for like putting in phone lines at Hanford and just all this crazy stuff. And
he's lived a long
life. And it's just been really full of lots of different experiences.
Yeah.
And I just look at that. I'm like, okay, that's what I want.
Yeah. Well,
how do I get there?
Well, I would say you've done a lot in your life so far too. I mean,
I have.
You have.
Until
but it sounds 2020. Like you also, right.
It's like everything before that is like, I don't remember my life before.
Well, and I think everyone's kind of been on pause in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, those are all good questions. It's going to be a process, I think, of just re-emerging and figuring it out.
It's just annoying. I would just love to wake up tomorrow with like a full calendar of people I love to hang out with and new experiences without having to put much effort in the planning portion of it or the figuring
fantasy.
It out. Right? That's a good one. Because half the battle is just like figuring out what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then putting your shoes on. Because I honestly though, okay, this is horrible. But so we were supposed to film or we're supposed to tape, a couple of days ago, you and I.
Yes, we were.
And I literally was just like, it was a beautiful day. I should have gone outside. It was beautiful. But I just had my screen door open and was just like, this is nice. Chilling at my house. And I'm like, I hope Jayme cancels. And then you called and you're like, oh, I think we need to push it down. Like, oh, that's too bad. And I started air punching. I was like, yes.
I am not going to take that personally.
It was not. It was just because I was just like, I'm at that point where if somebody cancels, I'm like, this is the best day of my life, even though it's not because it's
right. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. It is going to take more effort to interact and to just
human again.
Be with people and all of that again, because even me who's, social to the max, my threshold and my limits have significantly lowered.
Yeah.
For what I can handle. And I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like after being with people.
Yeah. I forget. It's like,
I did not used to be. And it depends on the scenario, of course.
Absolutely. But yeah, there's definitely sometimes I'm just like, ugh, this is awful. Like I would much rather just be home than just have to sit in front of you. Not you. And no, not anybody that's listening to this podcast. I just want to say that right now. So,
but I feel like there's a lot to look forward to. Like, I feel like it's finally a light at the end of the tunnel in a way, and spring is right around the corner. I mean, I need to flip this positive now.
Yeah.
Because
you can't wallow.
Well, and because it's true. Like, we made it.
I know. Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, hopefully.
And now you have a cat.
I'm going to laugh by the time if we post this. There's some new variant that's sweeping the nation and we're all masked with glasses.
Post this tomorrow.
Yeah. Just like, oh, shoot. Well, that was calling it too soon.
I think there will be, there's always going to be something.
Yes.
Hopefully not on the scale of like a worldwide pandemic.
Preferably not.
But we don't know. I mean, we just don't know.
Yeah. It's real encouraging.
I know.
Again, I am not depressed. I just want to say for the record, I'm just trying to figure it out of what comes next.
And I think that's relatable because I think a lot of us are trying to figure out what comes next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a lot of time to think during the last 2 years. And it's just like, I just want to be a happier... Not happier. Take that back. I'm plenty happy. I just want to be, again, a more intentional, fulfilled person where it's like I feel like I have impact, and it doesn't have to be big impact, but some impact. And I just get to just have a full life, good, bad, ugly, but a full life that I don't look back in like the year 2070 and be like, well, I guess it was okay, Yeah.